When we traded for Jared Goff, this channel did not exist. But on my other channel, the Gridiron Blitz, I made a video saying that the only way I would take a trade with the LA Rams with the Detroit Lions for Matthew Stafford was if Jared Goff was included in that trade. And a couple days later, Jared Goff was traded to the Detroit Lions. Goff didn't even know he was traded until he was traded. It had already been done. And I remember watching the 2020 playoff game when the Rams made the playoffs. And McVay decided to start John Wofford over Jared Goff. John gets a concussion, and then Jared Goff has to come in and lead his team to the victory over the Seattle Seahawks. And we know the next year, that offseason, right after that was over, essentially right after that game was over, the trade process had already began undercover for Jared Goff. And then the Rams came up as front runners for Matthew Stafford, kind of late in a push. And we know the rest. Jared Goff reminds me a lot of myself, kind of thrown away, disregarded. People consider him to be a downgrade from Matthew Stafford. People consider Jared Goff to be a throwaway quarterback. And I stream on my other channel. I stream football games, NFL games, and I saw a lot of Jared Goff. One of the games that I watched before I started streaming was the comeback, the back and forth between Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff. He had Todd Gurley. He had a team around him, and he was able to bring his team back to victory. Well, I saw an article today from, I believe this is Rams Wire, or the Rams equivalent to Lions Wire, stuff like that. They all have different websites. And Zach Taylor, the coach of the Super Bowl appearing and resurgent Cincinnati Bengals, had nothing but high praise to say about Jared Goff. He spent some time. He was actually a Rams assistant back when Goff was there before he got the Cincinnati job. And when that trade took place, he was able to talk to Ben Johnson and let him know, even though Ben Johnson was not the offensive coordinator at the time, what he thought of Jared Goff. And I think this is outstanding because us as Lions fans, some of us have never given Goff a fair opportunity. Now, all the things that it kind of reminds me, I go back to 8 Mile a lot when B Rabbit was up against Papa Doc. Papa Doc said, I'm going to let him go first. I'm going to let that chump go first. Eminem thought about it. B Rabbit thought about it. He came back and he spit everything that he knew he was about to use against him, right? So I understand Goff had the most turnovers. He led the league in turnovers since 2019. I don't think he holds that title anymore after his stellar play in 2022. And I truly believe that Goff is going to do something that Stafford did not. Not could not, but did not. I think he's going to win the NFC North. I think he's going to win the host and win the first playoff game for the Detroit Lions. I really believe in Jared Goff. Always have. I've been one of those creators. You have like David Pike, Detroit Lions Forum, and me. Never not believed in Goff. Here's what Ben Johnson was told by Zach Taylor. This is coming from Rams Wire. Ben Johnson, then the Lions tight end coach, had questions as Goff did. This is after the trade. Zach Taylor had answers. Taylor texted Johnson telling him how much he enjoyed his time with Goff. He said he's coachable and even fun to be with. The QB is the same guy every day, Taylor texted. Always ready to work and learn. And he operates without ego. I'm going to tell you right now, ego is the devil. It will destroy anything. Every boy band, girl band, any group you've ever seen has always been destroyed by ego. It's always one person that wants to put themselves above everybody else. Continuing on, Taylor kept going, addressing the negativity surrounding Goff, telling Johnson he didn't buy into it. To Taylor, Goff was not a downward trajectory, nor had he plateaued. Taylor thought Goff's best was still ahead. Super talented. Taylor told Johnson, he's one of those guys who can make every throw in the book, a high-level player. Now, I've always believed in Goff because I watched a lot of games, and I saw the good with the bad, but to me, the good outweighed the bad. Very composed when he's protected. Play action works to his advantage. And I know that Jared Goff was shook. He was shook by his confidence was shook What happened between him and McVay to end the 2020 season? McVay, how dirty he did him. Then you don't even know that you're traded until you're traded. And then where do you go? The city of Detroit. Let's be honest. Before Sheelanham took over, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got here, this place, nobody wanted to come here. And if you did, you were overpaid. Trey Flowers, right? Nobody wanted to come here. In order to build a team, Matt Patricia bought 17. He had to bring 17 Patriots on our team. Justin Coleman, Trey Flowers, Danny Amendola. The list goes on, right? Nobody wanted to come here. Jared Goff, I knew early on his confidence was shook, right? Strange man in a strange land. I'm in the city of Detroit. I don't think he had ever been here until he showed up in March, right? So to me, I knew Jared Goff had it, and to see him getting the praise and being able to play like he is right now is fantastic. Let's continue on. Next, Taylor messaged Goff telling him he would love working with Johnson and that the coach would be great for him. He said even though Johnson wasn't his position coach, Goff could pick his brain and trust him. Then he called Johnson one of the smartest people he had ever been around. Taylor saw something in Goff others did not, and he knew something about Johnson that hardly anyone else could see. Well, I knew it. If you go back, well, like I said, this channel didn't exist. But if you go back and you watch my video, matter of fact, I'll link it here. I truly believed in Jared Goff. I've never lost faith in Jared Goff. And I want to see him win here more than Matthew Stafford because he reminds me of myself being put down, being trashed, act like he was not good enough, right? That is what, so I want to see this man win. All the stuff he's been through. Stafford, from the minute he got here, was elevated, number one pick, savior of the city, right? Jared Goff is literally, not only did Detroit fans dog him, but the media did as well, right? But here's the best thing that I think came out of this article. Ben Johnson had the opportunity after the Lions offense, how it was number 5, and we went 8-2 in the last 10 games. He had the opportunity to take a head coaching job, and we really thought he was gone. Then all of a sudden, late January, he pulls out. He pulls out of the coaching, decides to stay with the Detroit Lions. Here's why. Ben Johnson said this. He said after the season, Johnson interviewed for head coaching jobs, but Johnson backed out and announced he was staying with the Lions. And then there was Goff. He's one of the biggest reasons I don't want to leave. This is what Ben Johnson said. I feel like we're tied together to a degree. He's an extension of me, and I'm an extension of him. I told him multiple times, his success is my success, and vice versa. And then I think it's a pretty cool, the article goes on to say that this individual who wrote this article wonders about a multiverse sometimes where Goff actually stayed with the team. Seeing as how Matthew Stafford is 35, Jared Goff is 28. 7-year difference. Goff still has a bright, long future ahead of him, even if he plays as long as Stafford has, right? Goff has a long future, a bright future. Some of y'all are not going to like this. From the moment he got here, some of you have been trying to get rid of him. 2021, drafting. Were we going to take a quarterback? We had the 7th pick at that time. Were we going to take Justin Fields? Were we going to take someone else? I adamantly believed that we weren't, and we didn't. Then 2022 rolls around. Malik Willis. Are we going to take a quarterback? I knew we weren't, right? 2003. I don't know what y'all thought, if y'all thought the Detroit Lions were going to take a quarterback at 6. But we know our team. ESPN, Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, they don't. Had Anthony Richardson, all these quarterbacks mocked to us at number 6 and number 18. And lo and behold, Brad Holmes, for the first time in his time as GM with the Detroit Lions, took Hendon Hooker in the 3rd round, who isn't going to be really ready to go this year. Already redshirted, right? For the year, pretty much. And now we're talking about an extension for Jared Goff this time next year, which I think he'll earn. Jared Goff is improving. I don't think he's going to regress. But this is fantastic to see Zach Taylor, a head coach of a potent, powerful offense. And the reason why Ben Johnson wanted to stay, one of the reasons was Jared Goff. He wanted to finish what he started, right? This is fantastic to me. I'm not a Goff slappy or whatever y'all want to call it. I am just a believer that Goff is perfectly capable of bringing us a championship. But he won't do it alone, and that's the key. He'll have a coach. He'll have an offensive coordinator. He'll have an offensive line, one of the best in football. He'll have a capable defense. He will have receivers. He will have a running back. He will have a team, which is something Matthew Stafford rarely had as a Detroit Lion. Nothing would make me more happy than to see Jared Goff win playoff game. I would love to see him win the Super Bowl here. I'm going to keep it a buck. But especially what happened with the year he left, the team was built. His team was built by him, and Matthew Stafford gets to reap the benefits. You see what happens when you build a team? But we're doing it the right way. The right way. The Rams did not. They sold out. They got their championship. We're trying to build for lasting success. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Whether you like it or not, Jared Goff can be part of that. He just needs to continue to improve, continue to do what we know he can do, what Zach Taylor knows he can do, and he's here to stay for a long time. So snuggle up, buckle down. Jared Goff, in my opinion, will be here for quite some time. He will be extended. And if you watching the Detroit Lions is based on whether he gets extended or not, you might as well cut the TV off because he's here to stay. Let me know what you think. Sorry for the long video. Had a lot to say. It was a lot in that article. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. We have 72 days until the NFL season begins. Take care of each other as well. And as always, go Lions.